Smoke and mirrors, guys. Welcome to the movie factory.
Ooh, so exciting, isn't it?
Trust me.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Ferocious, aren't I? I'm trying to put Tiger Bomb on this jungle's nuts.
Want your eyes, Big?
Hey, motherfucker. You're about to die, you bitch.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on.
Yes! Yes! Fuck you too!
You're gonna see some serious shit.
We are back. Smoke and Mirrors, episode 95. And we've scoured the web to bring you the latest in streaming, film, and entertainment news. How we going there, big dogs?
Yeah, good.
That was really good, man. Had a good good pod weekend there. Bit of a restructure. HBO, but HBO isn't the only O's getting it down. You know what I mean? Nice little pod dinner there. That was going well. How you going?
Yeah, good. That was good. What do you call it? I was just chilling. Still feeling a little bit fucking full from that food yesterday. I was had big sleeps on it. Big early sleeps. Fucking out like a light. But no, this was good. But no, moving into our news, we have the tried and true.
Fan the hammer.
Very good. Alrighty, so to kick it off, Sylvester Stallone was talking about the Drago spin-off, and basically he just said he wasn't happy with it altogether. He said that they're just milking the content dry, and that it shouldn't fucking happen. Michelle Michelle Rodriguez is really happy with Louis Leterrier coming through to actually take over as director for Fast 10. Said he brings a lot of passion to the film, and it's very hard to keep that same passion after 20 years of doing the same kinds of fucking movies. So it's nice to see him there. Taron Egerton, as well as is it Lawrence Kasdan? I always forget this man's first name.
Yeah.
They were sharing their thoughts on Solo altogether, and Taron Egerton was like, I was in costume and I was with Chewie and everything, but it didn't feel it for me. But Kingsman, I felt that, and I knew I had to do that. Yeah, and then Kasdan was just talking about, hey, like, we're not thinking about doing a series altogether, but if it's another movie, might happen. Vanity Fair released the YouTube video with the Russo brothers, where they were breaking down all of their iconic Marvel films. And they also mentioned that during them having the idea of killing off Iron Man, Favreau was like, "You really going to do that? It's one of the community's favorite characters. It might not be the best idea." And they were just like, "Well, we did it anyway."
Game of Thrones, bitch.
Colin Farrell was talking about the Penguin series, and he said the shit is looking really good. He was giving a lot of praise to Matt Reeves, just saying that he's a very hard worker. He's very meticulous with the work he does. He's working on the Batman sequel as well as this at the same time. And he just said, like, he read through some of the, the test scripts, and he said, fuck, this is good. This is nice. Valerie Curry, as well as Susan Hayward, are going to join the cast for season 4 of The Boys. And as well as that, Cameron Crevetti, who plays Homelander's son, has been upgraded to a series regular moving forward. Nick Offerman, as well as Janet McTeer, have been spied in some set shots for part 2 of Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, which means that they are confirmed for the cast. There was a fire in Italy, which actually disrupted the set for Old Guard 2, so they were off filming for 2 days. James Gunn was speaking on the Guardians holiday special, and how it's going to be the epilogue for Phase 4 of Marvel. So this is going to come just after Wakanda Forever drops. And this is going to cut all that off, and then 5 is going to start from there. Bong Joon-ho's Mickey 7, which is the current in-screen title for his new film, has begun filming as well. Prime Video has picked up the Roadhouse remake, and as well as that, Conor McGregor, the man, the myth, and the legend, is going to be starring in the movie as well. No role just yet, but they just said he will be there.
I already know who Conor's going to be.
Who's Conor going to be?
He's going to be that henchman that he fights at the end.
True.
He's got to be. And
the
Conor
first
could afford him when he was in his UFC days as well.
He's going to be he's that guy that he gets that Brandon rips his throat out the first time you see it. Yeah.
Fucking excellent. As well as that, Warner Brothers has set an August 8 release for Elvis on HBO Max, as well as video on demand platforms.
So that's actually changed. That's been changed now.
We'll get to it later.
Right.
Yeah. As well as that, MTV ordered an Everybody Still Hates Chris show. So this is going to be an animated series, which is going to be like a basic reimagining of the Everybody Hates Chris show that came out prior. Ann Dowd has joined the new Exorcist trilogy with David Gordon Green there. So all the scripts for the Alien TV series are done, and it's going to be shooting next year. The Justified Revival Limited series will wrap near the end of this month, and as well as that, James Clavell's Shogun has already wrapped in June, and it's going to debut next year. Squid Game still has the most hours viewed on Netflix altogether. Stranger Things came through, still didn't cut it. I think it was like 1.8 billion hours viewed or something, but then fucking Squid Game still smashed it. Yeah. So The First Lady, which was at Showtime, has been cancelled after the first season, so there won't be a second after that. Speaking of Stranger Things, season 5, the Duffer Brothers have started writing. Jared Leto as well as Jamie Lee Curtis have joined the Haunted Mansion movie that's coming out. And as well as that, She-Hulk has been pushed back a day from August 17th to August 18th. So they won't be in that normal Wednesday time slot release, it'll be a day later. The season 2 of The Mighty Ducks Game Changers is going to release on the 28th of September this year. As well as that, Ellen Pompeo is going to play the lead in that Orphan Limited series we discussed prior. And as well as that, Joker 2 will receive release on the 4th of October. We've gotten word that Joaquin is back as the Joker and that Lady Gaga is going to play Harley Quinn. Patton Oswalt said Eternals 2 is happening and Chloe Zhao is coming back to direct, so maybe we'll see more of him in the sequels. Some of the more exciting news, Mohammed Diab and Oscar Isaac had a TikTok that came out, and they were fucking around and basically said, yeah, season 2 of Moon Knight is happening, so that's fucking mad as well.
And then
so hopefully
then they busted into a renegade.
Sasha Mamet.
Every block.
Sasha Mamet is going to join the Madam Web casting as well. We're getting a lot of fucking casting for this movie. Don't know what's going to happen. They were talking about Andor, and they were saying that because of like the timeline for Andor, this is going to end after season 2, because season 2 is going to end right where Rogue One picks up. The Chris Pratt-led Garfield film is going to debut on the 16th of Feb in 2024. And as well as that, Paramount Plus has grown to 43 million subscribers altogether. They said a lot of the success is due to their growth in their independent films market that was there, which was like 19% compared to the last either quarter or year, which is awesome. As well as that, Don Saladino, who's been Ryan Reynolds' trainer for the last Deadpool films, as well as Green Lantern, and I think a few other films, has released an IG picture just saying that Reynolds has now like begun training for Deadpool 3. Outlander, they've got a new prequel coming out called Blood of My Blood, and that's been greenlit. Omar Sy is going to play the lead in the reimagining of John Woo's The Killer. Shea Coulee from RuPaul's Drag Race is going to star in a secret role in Ironheart, which will get revealed much later on. As well as that, Elizabeth Moss is going to lead and executive produce The Veil at Hulu. 20th Century Studios is developing a reboot of Working Girl. Dave Bautista is starring in the new Netflix movie called Unleashed, where his partner dog passes away and then he gets assigned a new one, but he's in this like, I don't want to fuck with new partner dogs type situation. Seth Rogen's announced the title of the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that he's working on. It's going to be called Mutant Mayhem, and it's also got a release date of the 4th of August next year, 2023. And as a last piece of fan, we have a rest in peace to Nichelle Nichols. She was 89 when she passed away of natural causes. A lot of people would know her as Uhura in the original Star Trek show as well as films, but she was also in Snow Dogs, Are We There Yet? She also voiced a few characters in Futurama, as well as she was in Heroes.
Rest in peace to Nichelle Nichols. Condolences to your family, friends, and fans. That is fanning the hammer. Very good there, Bado.
Thank you.
Nichelle Nichols should have played what's his face in Deadpool.
Blind Al.
Yeah.
That would have been sick.
I miss cocaine. All right, so starting off with our streaming news. So we have Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert, also known as the Daniels, of Everything Everywhere
All at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, all at once. Yeah, yeah, there it is. There it is.
That too.
So they, that's the, so they've set up a new show over at Showtime. So this is going to be a 30-minute sort of show called Mason. Right. So this is about this what's his name? His name is this quiet guy called Nathan. And like, he's often, people just call him Mason because they don't know that he's Nathan, and just how he sort of works his way through the world, and he's seeking connection and all that sort of stuff in this world that he's in. This sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
You can see the Daniels bringing real heart to this, especially with the subject matter. This is it's written by this guy that's a cartoonist and stand-up comedian in New York, and Steven Yeun is going to produce it. So this is sort of autobiographical story about Nathan Min is the guy's name.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. So Idris Elba and David Leitch are teaming up for Bang at Netflix. All right. So this one is about this cult that is kind of doing shit, and Idris Elba plays a secret agent that's infiltrated, and he's got to take him down. Leitch is coming in with 8711 North as well, so expect that mad stunt
North?
team. Yeah, this is like the branch off one.
It's not the B team, is it?
I don't know. I don't know if there's any B's in
I don't
in
think they have.
8711.
Yeah, I don't think they do. These guys are
Um,
really hard on them.
yeah. So yeah, expect that sort of David Leitch sort of action going down there, and also like Idris Elba in that sort of like form could be different. It's a
Well,
different Elba.
He's worked with Lead before, right?
Yeah.
So
Or Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw, yeah. So this is cool to finally get to see Idris be his Bond.
But also like Idris is a trained Muay Thai fighter.
Yeah, he is.
So
Yeah.
and
Tested too.
Sorry?
Tested too.
Yeah. Tested for the public to see.
I wanted to say in the ring, but then that's just big AO.
But like they usually like the 8711 guys usually draw on the person's strengths and
That's
develop
right.
the fight
Yeah.
style from there. So
Yeah.
it should be that, and also like Idris going up against The Rock and Jason Statham, not David Statham. Like he might have had to like slow it down a little for them, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
that fight scene was very stylistic and
Yeah.
sort of Supermanish.
And that Idris was at his peak then, right? He was I think he was just finished training for that fight. That's why he looks the way that he does. Is like everything's different. The shape of his body, everything, pause is different.
Yeah, it was lean
Yeah.
as shit.
Yep.
It's fucking killing. That's exciting. So we've got a series order at Hulu for a new show called Devil in the White City. This is based off a novel by Eric Larson back in 2003. Crazy thing about this is that we have Keanu, as well as DiCaprio, as well as Scorsese, all on board for this shit too, which is unreal. So it's going to be like the backdrop is going to be back in 1893 with the Chicago World Fair. And it's going to have like this intertwining stories of this architect, Daniel Burnham, who was the fair architect, and as well as this serial killer called Henry Holmes. The story for this is fucking wild because this guy used to lure his victims into this hotel that was close to the fair there. But then he had like a crematorium in there. He had a gas chamber and everything. And then after he's killed these motherfuckers, he would strip the skeletons and sell everything for medical study, which is fucking crazy. Now, like reading through the article before, they were saying that DiCaprio might not actually have a role in here, and he might just be coming in a producer capacity as well as Scorsese. So maybe Keanu's playing either the architect or maybe even the serial killer, but I'm not too sure. But this sounds fucking wild.
Yeah. I hope he's H.H. Holmes,
Yeah.
because just to mix it up, he hasn't really played like that sort of serial killer role before. The
He
Watcher,
did in The Watcher.
Yeah.
but a good serial killer role.
It's not bad, that movie.
Well,
But it's not good
it's
either.
not great either. Yeah, he's kind of
Yeah.
vanilla in there.
Yeah, he is.
But the story of H.H. Holmes, like this motherfucker started out like with life insurance fraud, and actually got caught a couple of times. And it's like he just failed up into like running this massive hotel, and then like at the end there, this guy was just on the run, and they was chasing after him like through like continents and stuff. Not continents, but like the different states.
Mm. It sounds like this is what Psycho was based on. Mm.
Yeah.
But did
Norman
Norman Bates
Bates.
lose it before that chick rocked up?
Yes.
Like,
'Cause
was he
he had already-
killing before then?
Yes. So he had already killed his mother, remember?
I thought she just died of natural causes and he embalmed her.
Oh, I don't know. But yeah, he was already doing that. He was already killing people. It's just the fact that that chick was a investigative reporter or something like that, and then that brings other people looking for her and all that sort of stuff.
Well, she was on the run because she had stolen. Like that's the story of Psycho. She steals, and you think it's like it's about her,
Hmm.
and then halfway through she gets killed, and then it's like, well, where the fuck's the story going? But it's
Isn't
then
it happens straight away. They kill, doesn't it?
no. There's a good
Doesn't it
40 minutes.
open with that kill?
No, it opened because I watched it last year, I think.
Hmm.
It opens with her actually like going to steal the money and then getting away and then buying a new car and then finding the motel and settling in and calling people and then when she dies, those people come investigating.
Yeah.
So that's why he's like playing hide the body and shit.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
But apparently, like, potentially Mans could have had up to 300 fucking kills in that hotel, but they've only got him down for like 27.
Jesus. This sick fuck.
Fuck. I know.
They could do a lot with this show. The
Yeah.
show could be something real different, and it's Keanu's first, like, real go round on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Could be fire.
Yeah.
And it's been in development for fucking, like, how many years did DiCaprio say, oh, I'm going to play this role, I'm going to do this, Scorsese's going to direct.
We heard
And it
about
just never
this.
came to fruition.
We heard about this after Gangs of New York.
Yeah.
That's how long it's been.
Seems like DiCaprio, like, just took advantage of the whole writing your own ticket shit. It's like,
He deserves it.
Yeah. Mans has
I
aligned
guess so.
himself with two of the greatest fucking directors in the world and continues to make work with them. He's set.
But I want my devil in the White City, goddammit. Promise me something and then not deliver. Because I wanted to see DiCaprio in this role. Whenever I heard about this story, it was always him in the role.
True. Yeah. Mans really put the cap in DiCaprio for this one.
I don't even know if like Reeves would be able to bring like the range needed to do this right.
All depends on who he's playing. We don't
He's
know.
playing that serial killer. I don't know if he's the one.
He is Neo.
You should come to my hotel sometime.
I have a free room.
He can be charming though. Like if you watch Reeves in like that movie that he recently did with what's her name? Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
Destination Wedding.
Yeah.
Like he can be really charming. He's not as wooden.
Devil's Advocate as well. It's quite good.
Yeah.
Where is his set? If it's in the
Chicago.
damn. So Reeves can't do like a what's his face accent then. He can't put on that southern accent then.
Nah, you
Yeah.
can't get away with that.
He does that. He does that southern accent again, and he's a lawyer again in that other movie.
Henry's Crime?
Yeah,
Or The Whole Truth?
I think the whole truth. It's pretty
And
good.
he's
That
got it in The Gift as well.
Oh,
With
yeah,
his
he had
white
it down.
trashy beard.
Jeez. See, if he's like that, like he is in the gift, he might be all right.
Mm.
But H.H. Holmes was like a businessman. Like you wouldn't expect him to do the shit that he does.
Hmm.
Like at night, he was just like doing live autopsies and shit. Dude was fucked.
Well, I mean,
Boiling people, secret rooms and passages and shit.
like looking
crazy.
at the guy, he kind of looks like Keanu as well, but like with a bushy mustache.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised.
we'll see.
Mm.
But that's it for
Nasty.
streaming news this week.
Mm-hmm. So, film news. So Tom Hardy, Austin Butler, and Jodie Comer is they're set to star in this movie directed by this movie directed by Jeff Nichols called The Bike Riders, right? So this one is about it's an original story. It's not based on anything. It's set in the 1960s about the rise of this bike club, right? Which is a motorcycle club, and just how it affects the members. So basically, the club like evolves over the years, and it's just a gathering place for like this gang that starts like eventually just getting worse and worse, which is
Mm.
crazy.
It's like Sons.
Sort of like Sons, yeah. But we'll see. I don't think they'll go the Sons route. It's what's his face is Nichols. Yeah, it's not going to be like that crazy. I like the setting though.
I know, but like the overall arch of the overall arc of Sons, where the motorcycle gang started as like a place where returning POWs,
Hmm.
not POWs, but like the servicemen,
Veterans.
yeah, the veterans sort of came and they created just like it was legit a motorcycle like club
Yeah,
to hang out,
Yeah.
and then it sort of went off the rails.
Yeah.
I reckon this is probably a story of how most things start off, like with good intentions, and then just eventually evolve into just
More nefarious things.
just crazy shit. But it's cool.
Yeah.
This is going to start shooting in October, which obviously means that what's his face isn't shooting Venom. Tom Hardy isn't shooting Venom, and that Dune will be finished shooting by then.
Yeah, actually,
So, which is very soon, right? We're 2 months away.
Austin
means-
Butler's not slowing down.
No, he's not. No, he is not.
It's gonna keep on going.
Hmm.
That's it for the film news.
Mm.
So we had like a shit ton of trailers this week, and you'll be able to find those in our description on the YouTube video as well. So if you want to check those out, check them out when you get a chance.
Mhm.
But as well as that, I think like the biggest thing that we had was the finances talk with Zaslav, as well as that, all the DC shit that was going down. So it started off like with Batgirl being axed and not being released on any platform as well, which is fucking unreal.
Yeah. So that was such a weird kind of headline that came out, eh? Where it was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Batgirl axed won't be released anywhere. I was like, it's not April.
Yeah.
Like can't
thought
be an
it was-
April Fool's Day joke. It's
I
not.
thought it was a joke. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was maybe like a little piece of promo or something like that.
Yeah. I thought it's been axed from like the headline was Batgirl has been axed, and then I'll click on it and be like from this release date, you know what I mean? And then
Yeah,
we're just changing release dates, but
because it's
obviously
going to be shown theatrically.
yeah. but obviously not.
But that wasn't the case at all. So it completely got axed. The main
Yeah.
reason being is that the look and the feel of the movie wasn't up to the standards that Zaslav and his team sort of had in mind.
Yeah.
There's also a new plan that's kind of happening behind the scenes over at Warner's
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
how they're going to restructure everything.
Yeah. So on that, Zaslav was speaking about it, and he says that our ambition is to bring Warner back and produce great, high quality films. He said that we can build long term sustainable growth business out of DC. We're not releasing a film before it's ready. So he says the focus is to make these films as good as possible. Um, he also said that they were looking at what Feige and Iger and those guys over there at Disney did with the MCU, and they're looking at emulating that now,
Mm,
which is what should have been the case from the start. I
that's
mean,
right.
it should have been a Man of Steel movie, a Man of Steel 2, into, like, then you can do your Wonder Woman and Batman and all that after start doing your team up films.
Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah.
that's right. I think it's a good plan that they have,
Mm.
but I think killing things in like basically when it's ready to be released is probably the wrong approach. Know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. But we know why they would do that, right? So they can, the $90 million that they spent on this movie, they'll be able to take as a loss and claim
Yeah.
it back from the government, right? But that means that we will never ever see this film.
You know what we got to do then? We got to like
I got to
infiltrate
break it.
Warner's
Yeah, I got to break into Warner.
and then just like sort of go, well, let's get a screening of that then,
Yeah.
because that's the only way you're gonna get to see it.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, at
Yeah.
the same time, though, I think that, if they're saying they wanted a bigger movie, or at least a better looking and feeling movie, I think that they could just get the boys back and Leslie Grace and
mm,
just reshoot. You know what I mean? Make it literally the bigger movie that they're expecting.
yeah, but then they'd have to put more money into it and get more people sort of synced up to do the reshoots.
Mm,
I don't think they wanted to put any more money into it than they already had.
yeah.
Mm.
It kind of felt like it didn't even feel like the movie was finished.
Well, it wasn't, right? So they still had VFX that needed to be inserted into whatever screening was shown,
That's right.
right? Um, so yeah, it wasn't completely finished, but judging by what they've seen, they just obviously didn't like what they saw.
And well, I think it's more to do with scale because
Mm,
from the like the test questions that they asked at the test screenings was, did this movie feel like it belonged in the cinema
mm,
or the streaming?
yeah.
And one person said it felt like X-Men Dark Phoenix. Another
Oh.
person said it felt like a bad TV pilot.
Mm,
And that question wasn't geared towards should we scrap it. It was more towards should we release it in the cinemas or streaming. And
right.
then from that, Zaslav kind of went, "Nah, we're just going to scrap it." Or his team kind of came to the decision. I won't say it's just him, but he's probably like the mouthpiece for it. Pause.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Mm.
That's right.
but what I noticed about like um, Bilal and Adil is that they both do a lot of their work post production, like put
Yep.
their spin on it.
Mm,
Um, so I don't. if the movie wasn't finished and the test screening was to kind of gauge the scale of it, you weren't going to get the nuances that they would have put into it had they
Mm,
That's
completely
right.
finished the film.
100%.
And I
We
mean,
saw.
you go.
I'm just gonna say we saw what they did with Miss Marvel.
Yeah. And they directed the first and the last episodes of that show.
Mm,
And they were probably the best episodes of the season.
yeah.
Um, the test screening scores for the movie were actually on par with Shazam 2,
Mm-hmm.
which is wild
Yeah.
well,
because that
this
movie had maybe another 60, $70 million added to its budget.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they had done the same with Batgirl, surely it would have, you know what I mean? It would have
Yeah.
been at a scale that they could have put out.
Mm.
well, from what I was hearing about that test screening for Shazam 2, they were thinking the the product that they showed was just using like stand-in CGI and stuff like that. So they're expecting the scores to be different next time you do have it screened when it's properly done as well.
Mm,
Mm.
true.
For me, it's also what sort of people are in these screenings. Like, are they
mm.
picking people? You know what I mean? Is it what's the word? Um,
Like is it a true representation of the demographics?
that's right. Like, is
Yeah.
it direct? Did they choose people? Like, is it directed at, like, okay, these people are actual DC fans. They pick up on all this sort of stuff. You know, they know the
Mm.
history.
Mm,
They're actually excited for this movie. I mean, our we have people out there that will hate a movie before it's even fucking come out.
it's true.
Like, what is it pointed? Did they get to choose people? Like, what's going on here? Did they
Mm,
get, like, the comicbook.com guys to come in and review it? Like what's going on?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
don't
still
know.
don't.
I don't know because usually, remember when we got invited to the test screening for the Dictator?
Yeah.
It was legit someone outside just handing out like little postcard type things, invites.
Mm, yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't know if it's like blind test screenings where they just like show up at this time and date and then just go watch whatever's fucking there.
Yeah.
That's usually how it works. But for me, like, that's great. You'll get a sense of what the general population is thinking. But I mean, this is a
Mm.
specific group of people.
Yeah.
These are
Mm,
comic book film people.
yeah. Yeah. I don't think there's anyone in the sort of the comic book film TV world that's come forward and said, "Hey, I watched the movie and this is my thoughts."
Yeah.
Know what I mean? So it probably wasn't. You could probably, I haven't even checked, but scour like Twitter and stuff for reactions from people that went to go see it.
Mm,
Yeah.
But it just seems, I don't know, it seems premature, or
yeah.
it seems very deliberate in terms of their plan that they have in place.
That's right.
But I'll just read
Yeah.
Adil and Bilal's statement. So, we are saddened and shocked by the news. We still can't believe it. As directors, it is critical that our work be shown to audiences. And while the film was far from finished, we wish that fans all over the world would have had the opportunity to see and embrace the final film themselves. Maybe one day they will, inshallah. Our amazing cast and crew did a tremendous job and worked so hard to bring Batgirl to life. We are forever grateful to have been part of that team. It was a dream to work with such fantastic actors like Michael Keaton, J.K. Simmons, Brendan Fraser, Jacob Scipio, Corey Johnson, Rebecca Front, and especially the great Leslie Grace, who portrayed Batgirl with so much passion, dedication, and humanity. In any case, as huge fans of Batman since we were little kids, it was a privilege and an honor to have been a part of the DCEU, even if it was for a brief moment, Batgirl for life. Um, yeah, I mean that right there shows you that they didn't even complete the film.
No.
Yeah,
Like those
and it was
finishing
also
touches
sudden
weren't
for
on
them.
him.
It's unreal. Also, when I saw that post that they put down, my first thought was just, had they managed to get the rights for the Jeopardy purple on the screen there for the background of that picture? As well as that, Leslie Grace did have something to say too. She said, Querida Familia, on the heels of the recent news about our movie Batgirl, I am proud of the love, hard work, and intention all of our incredible cast and tireless crew put into this film over 7 months in Scotland. I feel blessed to have worked among absolute greats and forged relationships for a lifetime in the process. To every Batgirl fan, thank you for the love and belief. Allow me to take on the cape and become, as Bab said best, my own damn hero. Hashtag Batgirl for life. So it's a big
These
piece, man.
yeah. These are the people that are hurt the most by this, right?
Mm.
I mean, can you imagine booking the next job and saying, so what did you do before? And then saying, well, I had a Batgirl movie that was shot, that was nearly finished, that didn't come out yet. Like it doesn't like for you, it doesn't look that great
Yeah.
Yeah.
as the star, as the directors, as like, yeah.
Yeah. And at that point, like, you put in all this time and effort to prepare for the role. You
7 months?
did the fucking movie, right? Cuts, bruises, explosions, everything.
Mm.
And then not anyone's going to see it. The only people that seen it were test screening audiences that probably didn't know who the fuck Batgirl was and her origins and
Right.
stuff.
That's right.
And execs who were just like, I don't think it's ready for the big screen. I don't think it's ready for any screen. And that feeling of having those people kind of make the decision for you, it's dog shit.
Yeah.
Because had they known, hey, we're gonna put this up theatrically, cool. I'll make a fucking movie that will be cinematic enough for you to chuck it up on the big screen.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think what they should do is take the bones of this and extend it out to 8 hours and make a Batgirl TV series
That's what
on
they should have
HBO
done
Max
from the start.
from the start, from
There's
the
a lot of
jump.
lore there.
Yeah, yeah, there
And
is.
you could expand Keaton's role,
That's right.
have him kind of play in the world a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Because
But
apparently his role was legit gonna be like in the moment, hey, here's a gadget, or here's a clue, here's a tip of where to go next.
yeah,
Yeah. Apparently he was gonna have like a pretty big like action scene in there as well. Who doesn't want to see Michael Keaton move in Batman suit again?
Fucking oath.
as long as they fix that fucking cow.
True.
So that it's actually a bit more form fitting on the cheeks pause.
He can actually do this.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, as long as they do that, we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
true.
doesn't look like it's gonna be like that though.
Nah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's even gonna be like that in the Flash.
Me neither.
And like the ripples of this happening, you can see across all the potential films coming out later on too. So they're even talking about like a possible reshuffle of like Shazam and Aquaman 2 and things like that.
Yeah.
And as well as that, there's also word that the Supergirl film's been scrapped. And Keaton, I think Keaton was meant to be in Supergirl as well, because his roles have gone from like 3 roles as Bruce Wayne Batman just down to 1 in the Flash now as well.
Jesus.
So it's unreal.
Yeah.
Just everything that's going on.
It's just weird as well because they must have had this in the plans because Ben Affleck was spotted on set for Aquaman 2 and he's there shooting scenes now where it should have been Michael Keaton because he was supposed to be the Batman going forward in this universe. Obviously not anymore.
Yep. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if this puts a bad taste in Keaton's mouth as well, with all the shit that's been paused, that's been going on.
Yeah. It's funny that like Peacemaker season 2 still goes on.
Yeah.
So, like, what does that then mean for like the Snyder canon? Because that's almost Snyder canon.
It is.
Because
I mean, they had bloody Aquaman and the Flash and stand-ins for Wonder Woman and Superman in the fucking show.
yeah,
Yeah. And from what I'm seeing, even with Joker 2 coming out, like this still throws me off in regards to do we have a multiverse going on? Like what the fuck's going on? And as well as that, with Joker 2, does that mean like Zaslav's whole plan of having Todd Phillips as the Feige equivalent here at DC, is that moving forward as well?
yeah. It feels like he wants to have like a unified universe.
Yeah.
But then, like with properties like the Batman and then the Joker, that doesn't feel like it's gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
Unless he like those are just like offshoot films and they can do their own thing. But then there's still like the remnants of the Snyderverse that keeps
That's right.
going. The Aquamans, the Flashes, Wonder Woman. If Wonder Woman gets made now,
If he wanted to do this, he has to completely redo it. You
Yeah.
can't have remnants of the old universe and everything coming back to this new universe. You're gonna have to get rid of Keaton. You're gonna have to do everything. Um, you're gonna have to start fresh, man. That's the only way that people sort of stop viewing this as part of some other universe.
I think I would have
Yeah.
preferred it if they did that. If they
Same.
just like completely just like scraped everything off and then fucking started again.
Yeah.
To
But
me,
I mean,
that makes more sense.
yeah.
It's also funny that like DC Films president Walter Hamada like basically didn't do shit with the whole Ray Fisher thing, but then
No.
heard about the film getting scrapped. I nearly walked out of the office, mate. Zaslav, like seeing you reacting, it stuffed like $100 million in your mouth. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And he just shut up.
That's right. I mean, he was more sort of pissed off about the fact that, the Hollywood Reporter dropped the news way before the cast and crew were even informed as
Yep.
well, which is kind of shitty of them to do,
That's right.
Yeah.
just to break a story. But yeah, that guy is supposedly out after Black Adam.
Yeah.
I honestly think that I don't like the idea of Todd Phillips being the Feige.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Feige is there because he has a great understanding of the properties
That's
over
right.
at Marvel. The only other person that could do that role for DC is Kevin Smith.
Fuck yeah.
100%.
That's the only person I'd put in that role.
Yeah.
And Kevin, like he needs that. He would like sort of usher in this grand bloody universe that is DC that only he sort of knows about. He's played in this universe for so long.
Mm-hmm.
He's
written
done
scripts for it.
comics, written scripts. Like he knows these characters.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
He's always been the DC guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'd be like the golden age of DC comic book movies coming
Oh,
through,
man.
man. It'd be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
If he could like set the story for the next 10 years and the movies that they should make and how they connect and everything, that would make sense. Even if he didn't make a movie for them, or if he
Yeah.
didn't, but just like stayed on as that sort of consulting capacity.
Yep. That's who should have always been there. It shouldn't have been Jeff Johns. It shouldn't have been that guy. We need an actual filmmaker that knows how to do this sort of shit
Yep.
over there. And he's the
Yeah.
only person who could do it.
Yeah. I mean, Feige was producing films for like 5 to 10 years before he made
Mm-hmm.
his first steps in the MCU.
Yeah.
What do you call it? You give Kevin time, he wouldn't just make this for fucking 10 years. This guy would give you like infinite amount of fucking ideas moving forward as well. Like you would not have the space to like, you know, interpret anything, he would give you everything at once.
Yeah.
I bet you we could go to Kevin Smith tomorrow and he'll give you an outline of how it should run.
Yeah.
That'd be mad actually to kind of see him
Yeah.
like break
To see-
down what that
yeah.
first 10 years in the films that should come out.
Yeah, to
Should
see
be.
him map it out, which is I'm pretty sure what Feige does. He sits down and he's got places on a board and it's okay, this can go here and then this will go into this and then this, like
Yeah.
he knows. Like Feige knows.
Yeah.
And that's what Kevin would bring to this. That's how
Yeah.
it should be.
Then it'd be
'Cause-
like Kevin versus Kevin.
Exactly.
Kevin squared, fucking hell. Good. But as well as that, like Feige's a really good relationship manager too. Like that guy actually sits down with all of his creators
Yeah.
and knows like what they're gonna do moving forward.
Yeah. So the big kind of thing that's waiting to happen, maybe 2023, maybe 2024, is HBO Max and Discovery Plus to merge, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
So this is the thing that I think has spurred all this shit to kind of happen, because the 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 graphics that they put up were that HBO Max is more male leaning, which, like, if you look at some of the programming, it's pretty balanced
Yeah.
between the female and male demographic.
Mm.
And Discovery Plus, which is apparently more female leaning because it's like based on hobbies and shit.
Mm.
So that's why they're saying there's synergy there for it to be a complete package. Pause. So that, you know, you can go there. That's your one-stop shop, and you're done. So what's kind of happening is that because of that, there's been this huge emphasis on the theatrical model. So films coming out strictly theatrical, and then using this streaming service as a distribution pipeline, but not before, like not on the 45 days theatrical window. That's getting scrapped in terms of the streaming VOD debut, but paid video on demand is still going forward 45 days. What they're looking at doing is a thing called escalation. So a movie comes out theatrically, it escalates, and then it drops down. People, you know, they're not going to go see it, so they release a PVOD, and then it escalates again. So that's more money sort of coming through, and then it goes to the streaming, which makes sense from a business point of view. Like their job is to make money. They're not here to fuck spiders.
I honestly don't mind. I don't mind it. I don't mind that it's not going to go to a streamer straight away. But just give me the PVOD. I'm fine with that until my 4K Blu-ray comes out, and then I'll buy that too.
Yeah.
Like, just give me that.
Yeah. So that's why we were saying that that Elvis is scrapped. That release next week or this week isn't happening. So you're not going to be able to get it on HBO Max, but it will be dropping PVOD.
Yeah, so that they were talking about it, right? So that they were saying that even when they release something at the movies and then 45 days later it's on PVOD, the percentages lost at the box office isn't really that much. It's negligible. Like we're talking about 1%, 2%. You know what I mean? So people are still going to the cinemas even when these movies are out. We can see that now with bloody Top Gun. Right. So that's the most wanted PVOD title on Apple right now. So it's the number one pre-ordered item right now on Apple. People want this movie because they saw it at the cinema and they want to see it, and people are still seeing it at the cinemas. So yeah. It's interesting. I don't mind.
Yeah. From a business point of view, yeah, like it works. and the merger makes sense because people are going to be able to go there and like watch
Yeah.
everything on the Food Network and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
It cuts out the need to jump onto YouTube and then check out like the different shows and clips and stuff like that, because then you
Yeah,
can watch
that's right.
everything in the one place.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, the name HBO Max is also getting sort of cut off as well. So Warner's is going back to that HBO front basically,
Yeah.
and that will be like the umbrella for all the films. So it'll go back to HBO because that's a premium title, and HBO Max is no longer the service because they're going to rename it. They just haven't come up with a name yet.
You should just call it HBO.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's what it should be. Like, because it's not TV, it's HBO.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is that we actually know about that. That was an ad in the US, right?
Yeah.
It's not TV, it's HBO. We never ever got HBO over here, but
Nah.
we still know the vernacular. Like, it's crazy. That's how big HBO is.
Fuck yeah. But what this also means internationally or like locally in the States is that, it's gonna when it launches, it'll launch in the States straight away.
Mm.
And then internationally. So they're gonna go Europe, they're gonna go Europe, I think also Asia, and then Asia Pacific. Which means that it's almost like they're giving themselves lead time until they can get all their properties back from Binge and Foxtel and everything.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then they can have a proper international streaming service like Netflix, Netflix and Paramount Plus and Peacock and all those guys. And they
I
can
think,
actually drop it here in Australia.
yeah, I think that's what's been hurting them the most internationally, right?
Yep.
Is that we have, okay, we'll just rent out our properties to these streaming services over here which aren't up to the same standard that are that we have over here in the US. Like the standard of programming over in that we have here for Binge, the worst streaming service in Australia, compared to HBO Max, is amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like those guys are getting 4K content, they're getting Atmos, they're getting everything, right? And we're stuck here in early 2000s 1080p video, and like just recently got subtitles. That was like the big thing. Like, I don't know what's going on here.
Binge
No
has the
clue.
worst compression issues. The sound is dog shit.
And the UI is terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, they say it's 1080p, but this should look like DVD quality sometimes, man.
Yeah.
It's fucking ugly.
Yeah, it does. Like, I
Oh,
look at
God.
something like, Apple or Netflix or Amazon, and it's just years better than bloody what's his face, than Binge. And then we have our own Australian streaming service, Stan, that absolutely smashes it, like 4K, UHD, everything, and it actually looks like it.
Yeah.
And
And Stan went through that. They went through it was shit playback. It didn't hit like Netflix did.
Yeah.
And then made some changes, and now the playback is beautiful on Stan.
It's the second best for me. It's the second best streaming service that we have here. That's who HBO should have partnered with.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Is Stan.
100%.
All right.
Fucking hell.
Any of you guys want to say anything else?
No.
Nah.
All right. All right. So 20th Century Studios. I've got to get used to saying 20th Century Studios. Invited us. Invited the O's to a screening of Prey, which was like it's a big thing because Prey's not coming out theatrically.
No, it is not.
So we went to the screening. It was awesome. The movie was also really, really good. And yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the shit out of this movie.
Mate,
Mm.
this movie was like really. It was just, for Predator. It was like, a breath of fresh air for Predator.
Yeah.
I think the sequels and whatnot that they tried to make, even the last sequel with the Predator,
Yeah.
it was just too convoluted and there's too much going on. Like, we need a simple story. That's why Predator works the way that it does.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's a military team. They're going in to bloody what's his face, rescue people that have been shot down. They get hunted by an alien.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the whole story.
Yeah.
And it just like it works on that same sort of platform. It's so simple, the story here.
Mm.
And it works so well. It's just executed so well.
Yeah. Like this was the best thing that they could have done. Strip it all back, set it
Yeah.
in a different time. There's no connections to any of the other Predator films. And the formula, like the structure of the film itself, stayed very much the same as the first Predator.
Yeah.
Like starts off normal, person notices things, gets caught up in it, has first interaction with Predator. They both lick their wounds and heal themselves. And
Which is
then
awesome.
the final stripped down resourceful battle where the person's got to come up with a plan to trap, kill, and then win.
Yeah. They like basically that person is turning into a hunter, right?
Yeah.
Instead of the hunted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then, like, who really is the Predator?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amber Mid Thunder did a fucking mad job.
Amazing.
They didn't get lazy with her character as well. Like
No.
she wasn't the badass sexy chick. You know what I mean?
No.
She was
Even though she is.
yeah.
But still.
You know what I mean? Turn the cameras off. Amber Mid Thunder. We're the wall paint, baby. But like her character was actually like she was really grounded and believable.
Yep.
Like she didn't do anything that seemed out of pocket for her character for that time or anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what I liked about her character as well is that she might not have been as like hench as like skillful with a weapon as her her counterparts, the males in the team, in the tribe, or the predator itself, but she was smart.
She was smarter.
Yeah, and they actually displayed that and showed that in some sequences.
Mm-hmm.
You know how good this shit was? That Jules actually sat down and watched it.
Oh wow.
I know.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's heavy tings.
Yeah.
Just the her character was awesome. Her brother was just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her mom as well. Like it was just cool.
Mm.
And seeing Native Americans presented that way
Yeah.
as well was just next level. It
The
almost
choice
makes you it makes
you
you want to
go.
live in that time with them.
Mm.
Yeah.
The choice to actually include community in there was big.
But they are community is massive for them. Like especially at that time, it was literally villages. You get raised by a village. Like that's everyone was basically an auntie or uncle or something in theory to you.
Yeah.
We were all family.
Yeah. There was that point in the movie as well where it could have intersected with the Revenant.
Yes. Yeah.
With the French inclusion there.
Mm.
And pelting being such a big thing during that time.
Do you know why they did that, right? So you know how we there's a scene where she walks out and there's just a field of buffalo that have
Yep.
been skinned and whatnot. So what they used to do back in the day, the French um, colonizers, they would go through and they knew that the Native American people would make money sort of selling pelts and all that sort of stuff and trading,
Mm.
and that's how they would make their money
Yep.
essentially.
Hmm.
They would go through and just kill a whole herd of buffalo to stop them from making money.
That's fucked up.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's what they would do. That's why the buffalo damn near was extinct for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Those
Mm.
sort of tactics, those tactics that's they're still kind of using today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, crazy.
Couple of standout things for me was the Predator and like the kills themselves. They were
Mm,
actually really, really good. I
mm.
like the look of this Predator. I know people are sort of saying like it looked a bit weird, but it suited it for a different race of predators. Like these
Yeah,
guys are like the feral predators, so they don't look the same.
yeah, that's right. It's not
Mm.
that. It's not the more refined predators, right?
Yeah.
That are coming down. It's almost like these are the workers, right?
Mm.
These predators are the workers, and the guys that are coming down that you see in the first Predator and that they're like the richer, sort of more
Mm.
well-to-do predators.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Um, and the music was very different to any other Predator movie you've watched
yeah,
this far. They went more like a classical sort of style with also some sort of indigenous drums and
mm,
instruments and whatnot. I
yeah,
like a lot of the themes that they played, uh, and it worked well over the landscape shots that they had because this
mm,
movie looked
Mm.
beautiful.
it does.
Yeah.
It also didn't look like a streaming film.
No, it looks like they could have put this out at the movies if they wanted to.
Yeah,
I mean, we saw it at the movies, so like it worked well on screen. What I was seeing.
yeah.
Yeah.
It played well at the movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Um,
I am.
you go.
Oh, sorry, let me talk. I was
That'd
just
be
gonna
fine.
say, like, the one thing I really appreciated about this was how lean the movie was.
Mm,
Like, thingy, you didn't need to have like a lot in there, and what they had in there was fucking perfect. It
mm,
padded it out almost like perfectly from start to finish. Like, I didn't realize how quick that movie fucking was. Like
mm.
when you sit through it, because there's always something going on, and by the time it's fucking finished, you're like, oh shit, feels like it's only been like 30 minutes or something.
yeah.
And what I was saying to Dave as well, another cool idea for this fucking movie, because this is still good, but if they set this up where it was just the Fury Road, where it was just the chase for 80 minutes,
Yeah.
Mm.
would have been fucking mad too.
Yeah. Because it could have been like Apocalypto as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The only so what didn't you like about the film?
What didn't I like? Jesus.
So
I
for
mean,
me, the only thing that I don't like is that they didn't shoot this all in like Comanche language. It's the only thing I don't like.
hmm.
It's the only thing that sort of stops the realism. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if they had used the just like, Comanche language all the way through, it makes not seeing the subtitles for when the French talk,
Mm,
even like because there is no that she obviously doesn't understand French, so you're not going to see what those French guys are saying.
yeah.
Um, yeah, it makes it more impactful as well.
I
Mm.
initially thought that
Mm.
um, when we were watching it in the movies because the first line is in Comanche. And I was like,
Mm.
that's not the language. What are they saying? Because they didn't
Yeah,
subtitle it.
no,
And a
Yeah.
lot of the things that they did put in Comanche, they didn't subtitle.
no,
But then when they, I think when they spoke to each other and the French spoke to each other, then it was subtitled.
yeah,
Um, but I guess like that's probably what they were going for with the Comanche dub that they
Mm.
have.
yeah,
But I know what you're saying. Like it's not the same.
no,
I would have loved to have seen that Predator movie if they went full native with it.
beautiful.
And that would have made sense in terms of like everything kind of being foreign,
Yeah.
because we're foreign to like the Comanche, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the Comanche would have been foreign to the French,
Yep.
and vice versa,
But
and
then,
to the Predator.
yeah, both of them are foreign to that predator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It worked for me. Like the English speaking worked for me when the translator came into play,
Mm.
because he spoke French,
Mm.
but then to her he was speaking English. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, so he knows the language, because they went full Hunt for Red October, Schindler's List with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I would be open for that. A full, like, true to form native spoken film,
Mm.
like big budget like that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I'm hoping there's never a sequel to this movie as well.
See,
As in like a direct sequel to Prey itself.
I want a trilogy with
Mm.
her, with that
Mm.
Naru.
You gotta realize that this predator it didn't have his own ship, it didn't have anything, right? He was dropped off here. There is still predators up in space waiting for this man
Mm.
to come back.
Mm.
That's where that's why, I mean, spoilers, at the end of the movie, she says that we need to move and get out of this valley because danger is coming.
Yeah.
She obviously saw the ship, which she calls a Thunderbird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
At the end of the movie as well, like in the credits, they show like what happens next.
Hmm.
So after she becomes war chief and they're moving off, more ships come down.
Yeah.
So there's that aspect. Also, the gun that she has is from Predator 2.
That's right.
So there's
Yeah.
a direct link there.
So I mean, they talk about the war between those two different races of predator, right?
Yeah.
In Predators,
Predators.
they talk about the war between. So for me, I don't think that a predator is going to kill, or a yout ya, however you want to say it, is going to kill Naru.
Mm.
I think they're going to team up. This is going to be like the what's his face. So to be that race of predator versus Naru, that
Yeah.
race of predator and the Comanche people against that other race.
Which would be cool, because then like maybe that's the reason why they moved to South America.
Well, you realize that that was the script that what's his face was going to make. The Rodriguez script.
Was it?
Yeah,
Ah.
I didn't know that.
yeah.
Yeah.
That
I was
was the
gonna
war.
say.
It was too expensive to shoot. That's why they made a comic out of it.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When I
Which would
hear
have been
the
cool.
team up, yeah,
That would
true.
have been
When I
mad.
hear
So
the
that
team up,
you go there, Batto.
sorry, no. When I hear the team up, I just think of Alien vs Predator. That's the only thing that gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yes.
I don't think it'd be like a team up like they're gonna fucking handshake of the gods. Like, it's gonna be a team up in the sense that the Comanche people are still gonna get killed.
Yeah.
By the people that they're aligned with. It's just it's gonna be a different sort of war.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like they'll still sort of kill each other, but yeah.
There's 3 races of predators now. There's the one from Predators,
Yeah.
which is the normal Yautja that we always see,
Yeah.
and then that other spider face fucker.
Yeah, which is that other race, which was the first people there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then this one that's in this movie,
Mm.
which always looked surprised.
Yeah. But that's the thing, like they don't tell you what that war was about. I mean, that war could have been the war for we want to be the only predators to come down to this planet.
Mm.
You cannot come down to this planet.
Yep.
And then being like, well, fuck no, we want a piece of that hunting too. That's the sort of war that I'm expecting.
Got our fucking permits as well, mate.
That's right.
Like, it could always be the whole thingy as well. Like, to put it bluntly, the dick measuring contest between the different predators who got the better trophies. And then it's like, well, Why don't we see how we go hunting each other now?
Well, that's the thing. Like that's what they were doing, obviously, in Predators, right? So they would put that, they'd grab one of those predators from the main planet, take them down to their planet, and then hunt them.
Mm.
Yeah.
The
And then
only
you just put
the only
Lawrence
thing.
Fishburne in the mix.
Oh, fuck off! Don't even mention Larry.
Fuck you, Larry.
The only thing with adding that much politics between the predators is that you got to subtitle them as well, and
Yeah,
I,
no,
don't, I don't really like the subtitled predator. Like when we've seen it in the Predator, it just cheapens them.
I would never ever do that. I would do it as, from the Comanche people's point of view.
That'd be sick, actually.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To see them sort of getting engaged by the bad predator, and then like a good predator, like, engaging that predator, and then them sort of figuring out and seeing that they look different and everything. That yeah, man. There's places to go with this.
I also wanted like something where it would time jump. Not like a time travel movie, but like 10 years. And you eventually get to see Naru as like an elderly lady. And like maybe that has links to Anna from the first Predator.
It'd have to be, right? So it'd have to be, because they say, what does Anna say?
Every
Every
summer.
every s- every when, no when the summers grow hottest.
Mm.
Yeah, that's when they'd come. That makes sense. So that's like that 6-7 year El Nino sort of effect. And
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like the Predator would be going fucking apeshit in the UK right now.
Ah, man, they go nuts. But we don't ever want to see that in the city again.
Nah. I didn't mind the city.
I don't mind the city, but what they were gonna do, like Predator 2 was gonna be amazing, right? So they were supposed to come down in full force, and after, like, Dutch would have gone. It's supposed to follow Dutch, and Dutch is supposed to he went from the military to being a cop for some reason.
Yep.
And he was gonna, what's his face? He was gonna be in the city, and then halfway through kill a predator, right?
Mm.
And that's when all of the ships were gonna start coming down, and the predators declared war on Earth. So they'd have to go to war with the predators. That's what 2 is gonna be. Mm.
Biggest mistake they made was letting Dutch out of the story.
Mm. And just the throwaway lines that you get in Predator 2, and even Predators, they say that someone killed an army guy, killed one of them in the jungles or something. Yeah. There's just too many throwaway stuff. I mean, he was supposed to be initially supposed to be in the suit
In Predators.
in the Predator.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
He was the secret weapon.
He was the secret weapon, yeah. But I can't wait. I'm hoping they do more. It seems like it's going well. The reviews that I'm seeing, people are liking it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we can only hope. I'd like to see more.
Same.
I'm in.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I reckon it'll be good.
Thank you, 20th Century Studios, for the invite.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Keep us in mind for Avatar 2.
3, 4, and 5 as well. No, that's it. Anything else to declare?
Just quickly, watch 13 Lives. That shit is amazing. Especially if you don't know the story and like how they actually pulled off the rescue.
Yeah.
Because it's
Amazing.
Unbelievable.
And I'd never ever think of doing something like that.
No. They They crossed some lines there, but they had to. Westworld was on fire this week. Rap shit was fucking. I'm loving that show, man. And Blackbird finished up, and like that was really good as well. Egerton is in top form.
All right, it's finished now. I was start watching it.
Yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think.
I will.
Yes, sir. But yeah, join us next week for more movie news and our thoughts on Nope when we go to the premiere for that, as well as so much more.
Yeah, love yourselves, love movies.
Vape more, smoke less, and wash your ass.